That about her.
I didn't know that either.
I didn't know that. I thought her father was.
Okay. No,
I don't think I'm bad.
No,
I feel like I'm.
No. It's all spiritual. We do everything through the spirit. It's not just about skin color or the outward appearance. Israelites look like all nations because we done mingled our seed among everybody. We pop all the nations with it. So our seed take on the
I've talked about this before with groups of you guys talk about DNA, lots of stuff, and that makes sense to me. I can absorb that. I just want to do it again.
Yeah, we see. See the difference between our camp, because there's other Israelite groups that would actually reject you just because of what you look. They won't even deal with you. They just get out of here, Esau. But us,
I've seen that.
We try the spirit by the spirit, and we understand our history and the curses that was put on our people. We were scattered among everybody, and we always have relations with nations when we would become scattered amongst them.
Hey, just look how all these nations love us now. They take on our culture. And women love us. We're supposed to be champions in the world. I'm saying.
Oh man, the white woman, she can't get enough. She can't get enough.
And that's our people.
She started it.
But if you go to Japan, their women over there love us too. All of them do. It's just whether their culture accepts it outwardly. But inwardly, they all love us.
They hate us. What's that saying? Everybody hate it. Everybody hate to be it. Everybody want to be a nigga, but they don't want to be a nigga.
Oh my goodness.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh my goodness.
But it's true though, right? Think about it. It's true.
You know, I tell you what.
Like I said, Sicily, the Moors ruled that. And we was taking white Edomite concubines.
I'm like an honorary black person, man.
Yeah.
I done lived in a couple hoods.
Hey, it's a spiritual thing. You know?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, he got some.
Romans 8:16.
And we're gonna go back though after this, man.
The Spirit itself bears witness with our spirit that we are children of the Most High.
Yeah, so your spirit, that's why we try to spirit by the spirit. It's about the spirit of somebody. I always use Bruce Lee. Everybody that knows Bruce Lee really loves him. No, he wasn't like Jackie Chan and Jet Li. He has a different, as they say today, swag or energy about it, rhythm about it. And our people always identify with that. That's why if you're old enough, you go back to the 70s, our people picked up karate and martial arts real heavy because of Bruce Lee. Now, that icon was supposed to be the greatest martial arts ever lived. He did die, and people naturally gravitate to that. But that same something in his spirit is what what attracted us to him.
They say the first.
It didn't originate with the Chinese.
I would say the first samurais were Jakes.
That started with Israelites. King David and his mighty men, they were the ultimate martial arts.
They got down.
Yeah. They were taking down thousands of men.
They used to go out 10 to 1. Shot heads off. They were bad. No, I know. I read it.
So let me
read it a couple times.
Let me even tell you about these samurai films, right? Where they have them running up on trees like Captain Tiger and all of that. Well, that was part of our spiritual power that we still had touches of. To be able to do those things.
Didn't they say that in one of those books about the samurai?
Yeah.
In order to be a true samurai, you gotta have a blood, just a drip, a blood of you gotta have black blood to be a samurai.
Right, the first Shogun was Jake.
Yeah. I can't think of the name of that. Origins and I forgot the name of the book Brother Brown had. It's like Origins in Early Asia or something like that. Something to that effect. The book that basically shows that we were in there, and some of the people in that book, we had still had the Hebrew customs. You know, and it basically breaks it down. That's how you identify with those people. What we had before all of that, right?
Yeah, because we were talking about Ishmael
right.
And the promise and all that. Because the Jake that was just here, if he would have stayed longer, because he's following. I was going to eventually bring it to his attention that he's following a false religion.
Right.
And Ishmael, which we was going into, Islam was set up for basically those people, for the Ishmaelites. That man that was here, he's an Israelite, whether he, believe it or not. He's taking on a religion of the same people that sent his people into captivity. All right, because those Arabs.
He's been fooled.
Exactly.
No, it goes right back
Because
to
those
the original
Arabs,
topic, bro.
the Arabs, they the ones that were responsible for selling us to the so-called white man. They got together with the Africans and sold us into captivity.
They built the ships.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
What is it in?
To take us down. These names are
Is it Joel? Joel?
Joel?
And it has. There's one of the small books at the very end of the Old Testament. I think it's Joel. If it's not Obadiah, Joel, I forget. It's one of the smaller books at the end. Talks a lot about that. What you're talking about, that betrayal, that prophecy.
Yeah, Joel, the 3rd chapter. About how Palestine,
that
Tyre,
betrayal of the people in the area against.
They sold us to the Grecians.
Right.
Yeah.
See,
It matches up a lot.
they gotta leave off from these different religions.
No, the way that African Americans came to America, I think the Bible has a lot to say about it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know?
Something you can't ignore.
For sure.
The history books couldn't ignore. Now, it's funny, now the history books, they're like, damn, we should have left that out. You know? But this guy keeps leaving because he's trying to digest.
No, there's no question. There's no question. It's in there for sure.
Right.
Big. It's in there big.
Deuteronomy 28 and 60 is the biggest one about the slave ships. You know?
And along with those promises, there was curses because of the failures.
And we're the ones that fit those curses.
It adds up.
There's other nations that may fit some of them, but only from the Negro, Latino, Native American, top to bottom to top.
You know what? I've read this pretty deeply. I agree. The African Americans, I think, are the only people that meet that whole that whole narrative.
The Hispanics, North Central South America, they fit it too. It's just their customs wax over it, so to speak.
Okay.
So you don't see it so deeply because they still have a heritage based over here.
To me, the African American meets it that much more because there's some verses in there that talk about being taken from a land to another land.
Right.
Whereas Hispanics were already here, they got dominated, but they were already here.
It also talks about how they came up to this land in the scriptures too. It talks about how they were going to be over here before the northern kingdom, the southern kingdom.
The darker tribe, right? Because what happened to them is when they came out of captivity in Assyria, they was like, man, we keep going off. Let's go try to keep the customs over in the land that no man Assyria is what they call it, right? Basically, the land that they knew was over here, but no man inhabited the Americas before it was called America, right? So they came on ships over here, whether willingly or not, they got on these ships and came over here, but once they were over here, they got put in slavery over here. Here come the conquistadors, put them in slavery over here. That's why there's Portuguese, Spanish, and so on and so forth.
And sent them on ships, and sent a lot of them on ships back to the old.
Yeah.
Right. So they're over there being around here too. Hispanics. They may not be black, but they may be Hispanic over there also. But then the difference was the history just is more vivid about the head tribes, because they went into captivity. Everybody knows the history that they went into captivity over here on the west coast of Africa, forced on the ships, and came over here and were sold. So it's just more vivid to what you already know. But that other part happened just the same. Captivity, when we came over here on a ship and it happened to us here, or we got taken,
They still got put into captivity,
put on
right?
a ship
I hear
and
you, I
came and
hear you.
served. It's still the same slavery by way of ship, you know? So
That curse was on all the tribes, man.
right. And that's the divide that a lot of people want to make. They don't want because once all of these people
Let
come
the
back
record show the Sicilians were part of none of that, man.
Right. Oh, we know. But you guys go through it too. Sicilians go through it
Sicily
too.
got overrun tons of times. That's it.
Because no matter what you look like, you still got to go through these curses.
Yep.
That's why you still have Romans in that. Read that one more time. Because they have to also go through the same. If they're Israelites, that's why no matter how rich or whatever an Israelite can become, Jacob, whatever they become, they still got to go through these curses.
Yep.
Read it one more time. Yep.
Romans 8 and 16. The Spirit itself bears witness with our
I
spirit.
don't care how smart or how rich or how powerful or how talented Michael Jackson is, he still had curses to go through because he's an Israelite. LeBron James, Jay-Z, all
Tyrese.
Tyrese, all of them, they still go through these same Deuteronomy 28 curses. you just got more money to try to deal with it. But the headache and the heartache and everything that's come with it, they're still dealing with that. Whether you're on the top or you're on the bottom, they're still dealing with it.
And they only got those riches because they chose this world.
Yep.
They sold their souls to the devil. That's the only reason why they doing it
Looks like
big.
that, yeah.
Because there's all type of talent. Our people are naturally talented. You can find a lot of Tyrese's out there, a lot of LeBron James and so on and so forth. But they just handpick these different guys that are willing to sell their soul to the devil, and the devil will give them a decent lifestyle to take them out of the ghetto. But you know, but at the same time, after I give you these riches, you belong to me now. You gotta sacrifice your children, you gotta drink blood, you gotta perform orgies, sexual magic, you gotta do all this filth. You know, nothing but wickedness. You know?
I'm poor, man. I'm super poor.
If we're doing it, what's that?
Oh, hell
We're
yeah.
doing all that. There's a lot of stuff going on.
Oh, it's a lot going, it's being exposed right now. All Hollywood is being exposed for all the pedophilia, the homosexuality. You know what I'm saying? Hey, shit is getting out, man.
You guys know what's going on, man.
Kinda.
I have a lot of respect for you guys.
It's the most high. Hey, for the average man walking on, just for the average man, it don't matter what you look like, but for the average man, you know a lot. You know, about the book and about what's going on.
I'm interested in the same things that you guys. I've read a lot.
Right, so be here every week.
All right.
If you don't be here every week, you might as well put it toward. But anyway, I'm just saying. But anyway, so we can leave that. What did you want? Read Romans?
I've been stopped at that. I was still in the scriptures dealing with Ishmael. Ishmael.
So I was going to go back to Genesis.
Because Jake need to learn that Ishmael was basically, even though he got a blessing, the Most High rejected Ishmael.
Right.
So when the kingdom is established, Ishmael is going to be under the Israelites.
Right.
Okay? And our people need to get it through their skulls that Allah is not going to get them into the kingdom. Man. Allah is going to get them the second death. That's all that's going to get them. Because Allah is not the Most High. Allah is just simply means, it's the Hebrew word Allah, which means power. But there's many powers out there. All right? There's many powers out there. But there's one true God, one true Lord. All right? And that's Yahweh, man. Okay? And the deity, Allah, that name was they gave that name to that specific deity that these Ishmaelites were worshiping, because they needed to worship a monotheistic God. But that same God that they were worshiping, which it really go back to the moon. You look up the goddess Hubal. Hubal was known to be the moon goddess, and that particular deity was known to have the names of many different gods. It was a polytheistic deity. All right. So they took Hubal and changed it up and turned that particular god to Allah. And that's the reason why you see Muslims
With the crescent moon.
with the crescent moon. All right? That's all idolatry. Islam, that's just another form of idolatry, which goes back to the Roman Catholic Church, because the Vatican set up Islam through St. Augustine.
Right.
St. Augustine set up, he groomed Muhammad back in the 600s. Okay? And he needed to come up with a doctrine, because you had the Moors there, the Israelites there, and then you had Ishmael, the Arabs there. And they were all at conflict over that land of Jerusalem. In order to basically pacify those Arabs, they needed to come with a particular philosophy, and they needed to groom a specific figure, you know what I'm saying, with set them up with a code of personality, to where if they start reading this book about this man, they're gonna be like, hey, this guy right here, we read about this guy must be the Messiah. He might be the next coming Messiah. You know?
That's why they call him the Prophet Muhammad.
Yeah.
He wasn't a prophet.
He wasn't a prophet. He was illiterate, man.
Ain't no prophecies in the Quran.
Right.
There's none in the Quran.
There's no other book with these prophecies, only in the Bible.
Yeah, man.
True prophecies.
Matter of fact, I was hoping the dude would stick around.
I'm telling you why he keep leaving, bro. He's trying to digest
I
what he
know.
just heard.
I know.
That's what
already
it
know.
comes down to. He'll
already
probably
know.
be back though.
Spirit bring him back.
Unless he's full.
Yeah.
You know? But
But
go ahead.
I have this article that kind of tie into how the Vatican created Islam. You know, I could read a little bit of it, but we can, you know, actually go back into the scriptures. But this is from redicecreations.com, and it says how the Vatican created Islam. And it says how the Vatican created Islam, the astonishing story from ex-Jesuit priest Alberto Rivera, which was told to him by Cardinal Villa while he was at the Vatican. And when you scroll down, it says the great untapped source of manpower that could do this job was the children of Ishmael. The poor Arab.
Because when Abraham was blessed and father of a multitude, he had a lot of Ishmaelites.
Well, not Ishmael. He didn't have a lot of Ishmaelites.
I mean,
he had
a lot of
he had Ishmael, he had Isaac, and then he had 6 more sons.
Right.
All right.
So he had a lot of children. But Ishmael ended up having a lot of sons. There became a multitude in the earth. So that's the manpower that they're talking about.
Yep. It says the poor Arabs fell victim.
I get my exemption. I got to pay
The poor Arabs fell victim to one of the most clever plans ever devised by the power of darkness. Early Christians went everywhere with the gospel, setting up small churches, but they met heavy opposition. Both the Jews and the Roman government persecuted the believers of who the world calls Christ to stop their spread. But the Jews rebelled against Rome, and in 70 AD, Roman armies under General Titus smashed Jerusalem and destroyed the great Jewish temple, which was the heart of Jewish worship and fulfillment of Christ's prophecy in Matthew the 24th chapter. Now, when you jump down, it says
it's lining up the events that took place to balance, to take some of the believers of Christianity, so to speak, away and make them into Islam worshippers. But this was a strategic plays that they made to make this come about.
Yeah, I've read about this.
Right.
It says 3 major religions.
We figured you would, but the guy that needed, you know.
Yeah, that's why this thing ain't for. That's why the 2/3 of our people are rejected by the Lord. It's the reason why He got a lot of them in these different religions, and no matter how you try to explain it to them, no matter how you make it plain to them,
Only a remnant will be saved.
Only a remnant will be saved. So if these jakes that's in Islam, it's meant for them. That's their stumbling block. They're gonna die because they follow in Islam. You know. But it says, it says 3 major religions have one in common. Each has a holy place where they look for guidance. Roman Catholicism looked to the Vatican as the holy city. The Jews look to the Wailing Wall in Jerusalem, and the Muslims look to Mecca as their holy city. Each group believes that they receive certain type of blessings for the rest of their lives for visiting their holy place.
So let me say that because what they're doing is they're trying to blend similarities. So you know the custom of going to the holy city. Now we can tell you what the holy city is because that might not have been told. And we destroyed the temple.
If I try to give you a counterfeit $100 bill, it's got to look pretty close to the real thing, right? It can't be all pink and yellow. Right away you'd be like, no, it's got to look close enough. You're like, okay.
Yep, exactly.
If I'm going to bring a counterfeit to you, it's got to have a lot of similarity, right?
Right. But a little level whole.
But with a little bit of different.
That little different.
But it's still counterfeit.
Right. Exactly.
And we got to use our discernment to go, wait a minute, I see 3%. I see 3% difference in here.
Why did George Washington? That's on $100 bill.
George Washington?
Washington, right?
Yeah. Benjamin.
That's why Benjamin. Hey, it ain't blood. You know, whatever the small, something small.
Yeah.
Why are you wearing glasses? It's something small that don't fit. You know, but everything else looks good in a quick exchange. And our people hop on those quick exchanges.
It says It says, in the beginning, Arab visitors would bring gifts to the house of God, and keepers of the Kaaba were gracious to all who came. Some brought their idols, and not wanting to offend these people, their idols were placed inside the sanctuary. It is said that the Jews looked upon the Kaaba as an outlying tabernacle of the Lord with veneration until it became polluted with idols.
Yep.
All right? And that's over there in Mecca. You know? It says, in a tribal contention over a well, Zamzam, the treasure of the Kaaba, and the offerings that pilgrims had given were dumped into the well, and it was filled with sand. It disappeared. Many years later, Mutalib was given visions telling him where to find the well and its treasures.
Let me say like this, because a well is a spring of life, so to speak. If you have a well in the middle of the desert, that can water the whole, that's everything, right? Because if you have a well, now you can go water your crops, you can water your people, they can survive in that region. So it's an instrumental piece. If you can't live by the river, or okay, good for you. Anyway, if you can't live by the beach or by a lake or river, you want to be by a well.
It says,
spring or something, right?
it says, he became the hero of Mecca, and he was destined to become the grandfather of Muhammad. Before this time, Augustine became the bishop of North Africa and was effective in winning Arabs to Roman Catholicism, including whole tribes. It was among these Arab converts.
They told you that they were going throughout the region, converting them over, right? Well, this is what they're still doing. They're not going to establish the righteous way. They're going to establish the way that they want to control you. No different than the church religions now. Right?
It says, it was among these Arab converts to Catholicism that the concept of looking for an Arab prophet developed. So they took on the Catholic idea because, according to, the scriptures, we always deal with prophecy in our so-called religion, okay? So they wanted a prophet. So they had to find, Augustine and them, they had to find a prophet for the Arabs to look to. And it's getting ready to go into. It says Muhammad's father died from illness, and sons born to great Arab families in places like Mecca were sent into the desert to be sucked and weaned and spend some of their childhood with Bedouin tribes for training to avoid the plagues in the cities. After his mother and grandmother, grandfather also died, Muhammad was with his uncle when a Roman Catholic monk learned of his identity and said, "Take your brother's son back to his country and guard him against the Jews. For by God, if they see him and know of him that which I know, they will construe evil against him. Great things are in store for them."